Did you know that Judge 5 freed Maria Hamilton, Melly's ex-girlfriend, from prison and allowed her attorneys to liberate him as well? In a Facebook post on February 9th, Hamilton thanked her family and friends for their support, writing, "To my village, thank you to my village. I love you all so much. God's plan, not mine." She expressed displeasure with the way the courtroom was covered by the local news.
Mariah Hamilton is spending her first day at the Broward County Jail. She has no arrest record until now. U.S. Border Patrol agents arrested her at Miami International Airport Monday after she arrived on an international flight. Court records show Hamilton was ordered to testify in Demon's first trial in 2023.
But after the new court saw how long Melly had been in custody, it was declared that Melly needed to make an informed choice regarding his attorneys. He had been detained for more than 2,100 days.
No, let me repeat myself. Mr. Demons has to make an informed decision about who he wants as lawyers. He's now been sitting in our jail for 2,159 days. So, how long would you like to be able to make that decision?
I can't determine when the investigation will be over. That's up to the Broward Sheriff's Office, but I can, as I said, I'm just asking for a week, and then I'm asking for at least a day or two. At
You
minimum.
can decide by tomorrow. I've also reserved all of tomorrow.
When the judge realized that Melly had been detained since February 2019 and had not received a verdict, he asked the prosecutors to provide a clear explanation of why Melly should not be released on bond. The prosecutors then did the worst thing possible. They are attempting to coerce Band into snitching against Melly during his impending trial by submitting paperwork to have Melly and Borland tried in the same case.
Issue here, and you can try them together. It is to the benefit of the state to try them together. Just more efficient. You don't have to do things again and again. Do it all at once, and also you get a better chance of having them incriminate each other during the trial. It benefits the defense to sever it. That way they can point the finger at each other and get away with it. So this is what's going on. But I don't think it should be automatically severed because the state is seeking penalty for Melly, because it's only the penalty phase of the trial that would be different, not the guilt phase. The guilt phase is the same. They're both capital crimes. You're seeking the penalty on one, not the other, but that goes into the second part of the trial, the penalty phase, only if Melly is found guilty.
He will probably start blaming Melly if the band is also accused of removing Juvie and Sack Chaser when he knows he didn't. With the exception of the first trial, when Melly's team attempted to blame Borton for the crime, the band has been incredibly loyal to Melly throughout the entire process.
Those were his lines. Cortland Henry shows up at Memorial Hospital, Miramar. You don't see him sitting there, but where you will see him sitting is in the driver's seat of a car with two bodies, car riddled with bullets. And when he shows up with a change of clothing, change of shirt, powder residue on his hands, evidencing that he had discharged a firearm. And he lies. He lies about where the incident occurred. He lies about how it occurred. And he lies about not having a phone. I think it was Miss Bradley herself who said, everybody has a phone in his pocket, not Cortland Henry.
His attorney disclosed that Borland had always lied to the federal authorities, had powder residue on his hands, and was the first individual seen with Sack Chaser and Juvie. Following their release, a forensic scientist verified the powder residue findings from the initial trial.
So the right hand of Cortland Henry contained two component particles, and the left hand contained one particle characteristic of powder residue and one two-component particle.
Okay. And can you explain to us what that means?
Basically, overall, there was powder residue present on the hands.
When Melly's first trial resulted in a mistrial, the band didn't appreciate this. Therefore, he tweeted a mystery message the same day. "Mind games don't work on people like me." The handshake emoji at the end of the tweet gives the impression that he's accepting a deal, but people are beginning to worry that Melly is having financial difficulties while trying to pay for his lawyers because reports surfaced that Mary's mother created a fan account and was interviewed about why she did it and how much money she's made.
Why did you decide to break the internet the other day? saying that you're YNW Melly's mom and you're about to hit fans.
Why not? You make money while you sleep, and you know, I turned 40 this year. Why not do something crazy?
Did you start it yet though?
What? My only? Yeah.
How much you made the first day? I just need to know the first day.
The first day was pretty epic. It was pretty epic.
Give me a ballpark figure.
Like 40-ish, 50.
One day?
Day one.
The internet was taken aback by this, as DJ Scholars discussed.
So YNW Melly's mom has announced that she's gonna be starting her own. And I gotta be honest with y'all, man, like, this is perplexing. The reason why it's perplexing is because I can't understand why she's doing this. Your son is fighting for his life. How much, you know, there's certain mothers in hip hop, and you probably could name a few, I won't name all of them, that I feel like their son became stars, but they also wanted to be stars as well. Blueface's mom is one of them. Situation between Melly's mom and Melly, I always thought was interesting, but I never thought she'd be doing this. If you're wondering if she's doing this for money, this can't be a money play. Like, no way, no how.
Social media disagreed with academics who think it has nothing to do with money since, in an interview with No Jumper, Melly's mother and brother discussed the money she has been spending. While his mother pretends everything is fine, his brother calls out Melly's extravagant spending patterns.
I would assume that he spent a lot of money on lawyers. Like an amount that would probably...
That kid spent a lot of money on a lot of things that shouldn't have been spent on.
Really? Like what else?
And cars, jewelry. And he's not even out to wear the jewelry. I'm like, why are you buying jewelry? You're not here to wear the jewelry.
No, definitely lawyers are probably the best thing you can spend.
That's what
on.
bro. But
Yeah.
he's good with lawyers, bro. Like, money ain't an issue for lawyers. Like, he's fine, but it's just like, it was a lot of stuff that should have went to lawyers that he didn't spend on lawyers. And I'm like, bro. And now it's like, he don't even want the chain no more.
To Melly's mother's defense, she has endured a lot during his ongoing trial and is probably using it as a means of escaping the trial because Melly has frequently had to inquire about her well-being. However, did you know that Melly's financial troubles will only get worse? The state is bringing a new case against Melly for witness tampering, claiming that Melly is the reason Noria left the country and failed to appear at the initial trial. The witness tampering charge alone could put Melly in prison for life. But there's more to the situation. Since it's a brand new case, Melly will have to pay more for his attorneys to handle the witness tampering charge.
Filing 6 new charges against Demons and 2 others who were allegedly involved. The charges include tampering with a witness, directing the activities of a criminal, solicitation or conspiracy to commit tampering, and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. Now, a couple of those charges actually carry a life in prison sentence if there's a conviction.
However, because Maria, Melly's ex-girlfriend, is a party to the second trial, she might be the one to put Melly behind bars because, according to reports from her hometown, she called him the night of the crime. Nevertheless, in light of the witness tampering, Juvi's father investigated Maria and discovered the words and methods Melly used to get Maria out of the first trial.
There was this kind of crazy way that Melly was communicating. He wasn't allowed to use the phone, but he was passing notes to people, and then this person's calling this person and then that person.
Like to me, they're going through extreme measures, trying to cover up or convince people not to testify, like Mariah mom. They was using code words like Rihanna, and they said Rocket's baby mom.
However, Nelly's mother, Jamie King, spoke about how unfair it is that he hasn't been found guilty of his crimes since the state has entirely cut off his access to the jail phones and mail because they are seeking a witness tampering case against him.
My son has not been convicted of anything, and even other inmates that have been convicted or anything, they have the right to use a telephone. They have a right to just to be allowed to write letters to their loved ones, to receive their mail. They hold his mail, they don't give it to him.
However, the jail removing the privileges probably indicates that they have proof that he tampered and are keeping it for court because they can't risk Melly talking to the public and possibly tampering more with his cases. However, this doesn't make it any easier for Jimmy King, who went on to say in the interview that she's just devastated for her son.
When you saw Melly's statement, just saying how he's been hurt, how he's scared for his life, as a mother, how did that make you feel?
It's heartbreaking. It made me feel completely helpless. Broward Sheriff's Office definitely needs to be investigated. I mean, they are making up their own rules. We tried to go to court about this situation. The judge really doesn't have any jurisdiction when it comes to the jail, because we actually had a hearing about the mistreatment of him, and the jail they make their own rules. And I don't think that's fair, because I know that they need to answer to someone too.
Online attention was generated by Jamie's statement that Melly wasn't receiving proper internal treatment. Charleston White then stated that this is why Melly should be incarcerated.
The YNW Melly, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated. Yeah, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated, homie. Homie, when you take a life, homie, you ain't got a right to complain about a motherfucking thing about being mistreated. When you done chose to play somebody.
Boozy also expressed how difficult things have been for Melly's mother.
Okay, so
then I met his mama while he was in.
Oh, okay.
I met his mom while he was in, and she real, bro. You know, she real.
You stressed out. I heard she had a...
Yeah, she real, and I reached my hand out to him, cause I'm real. Yeah, I reached out to him, bro. I met his mom, and she a good woman, bro. And when I see them mamas like that, it remind me of what my mom was going through, bro.
However, Melly's attorneys have attempted to provide whatever scant evidence they can in order to secure Melly a bond, because, upon the trial's resumption, they informed the new judge that the prosecutors had acknowledged that no handgun had ever been discovered during the first trial.
So the first thing is I didn't have a firearm, so I can't know which firearm I'm going to use in order to replicate any of my tests. So I can't make tests for this determination because I don't know what was used.
Okay.
They also reveal how Melly was texting his fiancée at the time of the incident, and how the GPS evidence shows that he was jogging down the street.
That would be the part where he's saying that someone just shut the car up and was trying to shoot them. So I asked him if he was okay, where he was, and he's like, there's a car coming behind him, like hiding. He was like, there's some, yeah, there's some, I think they're still out here or something. So I'm like, are you okay? He's like, I'm okay. I said, well, where are Zach and Juvie? And he said, I don't know if they're in the car. I think they're...
This was insufficient to secure him a bond. But the worst part is that the prosecution has continued to look into the Melly case while they await a retrial. During the course of their investigations over the past year, they have discovered that Melly had a close relationship with King Von prior to his arrest, and it turns out that a former O-Block member stated in an interview that Melly asked King Von how to handle Sack Chaser and Juvie.
Did Von really tell you that Melly told him that he was two friends?
He ain't come out and say, like, we got into an argument. And so, you know, if you know, when people can say something without saying it. And so he told me, like, once I posted what I posted, Von was mad at me, bro. Why you put that, bro? Walk the bam. I'm like, you sitting up here, like, you know the love we got. You do this for us, but you gonna trust that his two friends? And he said, them was trying to extort him. And so I'm like, if they was trying to extort him, then why are you still around them?
When you consider the kind of man King Von used to be on the streets, you can imagine what his reaction would have been when he heard the old block member claim that Sack Chaser and Juvie were taking a huge revenue share of the YNW business, while Borland and Melly were working hard every day to put on concerts, deal with brands, and sell merchandise. This suggests that Melly wanted the business to be split 50-50s with Portland, rather than receiving an equal 25% split. And when you combine this with the evidence that Melly boasted about committing the crime, it looks extremely favorable to Melly.
Asked him if he was okay, and his response was, I did that, and placed a smiley face emoji.
And the next message from 10/26/2018 at 16:02 from Eastern Standard Time. The YNW Melly count says what?
After that, S-H-H-H-H.
Additionally, Melly's phone contained a Facebook Live video that captured the emotions of Melly and Portland in the hours following the death of their closest friends.
Melly still turned regardless of what happened this early morning. He's still out here being very positive. Turned still. Hey! But no, still turned, regardless of what happened. You already know.
Knowing how Melly handled the loss of their two best friends, the prosecution looked into the Jeep they were driving and found that Sergeant Williams had verified that it could not have been a drive-by with no indication of sorrow.
How many rounds were inside the car?
3. From the driver's side back seat.
As to the shot that Christopher Thomas, where did that emanate from?
Driver's side back seat.
Oh.
My determination was that this is not a drive-by, and it's based upon this picture here at a stationary position when all but one of these rounds are going in. The one round that has some movement in it, which is round site L here, the actually moving in that.
Juvie's mother verified who was in the rear left seat of the car after it was established that someone was doing the act.
Can you state your name? Your full legal name for the jury?
I'm Leon Phillips.
Okay. And are you related to one of the victims in this case?
Yes, I am.
How so?
I'm his mother.
And who is that?
Christopher Thomas.
Ms. Phillips, did you see who entered into the occupants who entered into that gray Jeep?
Yes.
Do you recognize where your son entered that gray Jeep?
Yes.
Which seat, if you can identify for the jury?
He got in the back seat on the right hand side.
Did you recognize the individual that got into the back seat on the left side, the rear driver's side?
Yes.
And who was that individual?
Janelle.